So what's the advantage of a SuperStroke grip over a standard grip? Well, some putters come with SuperStroke grips as standard nowadays, so that kind of blows that out of the water anyway, but standard grips as such may have been perceived as a pistol rubber, like a Ping Blackout or something like that, slim, very dense rubber, flat fronted. SuperStroke have even kind of branched into that market now too, so they've got flat fronted, slimmer version with a pistolini back to it. So there is no advantage to playing SuperStroke brand over any other brand. It is just as any other question is, what's the best driver or wedges or irons? It's what suits you. So here's some other examples of lightweight grips, a bit like the SuperStroke, round and fat. This comes in different sizes, as does the SuperStroke. The Golf Pride Tour sensor, this comes in bigger or smaller, and this is the heavier grip versus these others that are lighter. So there is a disadvantage or an advantage if you're trying to make the weight of the putter feel different. Then putting each of these on will change the swing weight of your existing putter. So that's definitely something to watch out for, and that's something that SuperStroke, I guess, were kind of first in the market to coin, was creating a bigger shape that is lighter in weight so that you don't really offset the kind of balance of the putter too much. If anything, you just make the head feel heavier, which I believe can be a good thing for a lot of players. So doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter what shape, if you're fit for it, it feels right and it works, that's the right putter grip for you. Wedge grinds, what's the difference? So we're here in our little wedge corner at Cool Club Sydney. I'm going to just highlight a few of the differences. Wedge grinds are quite literally, as they say, the grind on the sole of the wedge. They come hand in hand with bounce changes, and I'll talk you through that too. So this is a low bounce trailing edge grind from Cleveland. You can see how there's a line through the middle there where this trailing edge has been ground away. This has only got 6 degrees of bounce through the centre of the sole there. You've then got an M grind from Titleist, which has got heel relief, trailing edge relief, toe relief, and you can see it's kind of a little egg shape through the sole there. You've got a flat grind or a W grind from Callaway, which is thick through the sole, not much grinding been done anywhere there, only off the toe edge and the heel edge. And then the Ping ES, which I kind of love because it's so funky, but it's got a channel ground through the middle. It's got trailing edge relief, it's got heel relief, it's got the hosel thinned out, so it's got a bit of everything on there, and that really makes that a super forgiving wedge and a great bunker club for people that really struggle in bunkers. All of these wedges suit different people, and in some cases you can have one of each of these in your bag. So if you're hitting steeper, harder shots and your angle of attack suits more bounce, and the golf course you play more often suits more bounce, then a W or a flatter grind might help you, and it really is to do with turf interaction. The heel relief and the trailing edge relief is about laying the club open, hitting different shots, and not getting the club bouncing in the wrong place or digging in the wrong place through your swing, through the turf that you play off of, through the ground conditions that you play off most. So key with wedges is to kind of understand that you're never going to have one set that suits every condition you're ever going to play and every golf course you're ever going to play. It's nice to have a variation of wedges that give you lots of options, and understanding your swing relative to the bounce and grinds that you need throughout your set is the key. With manufacturers constantly bringing out new equipment, when is it time for you to upgrade? The answer really is when you need to. So if your grooves are worn out, you've cracked the face on your driver, you feel like one of your clubs or all of your clubs are underperforming, you feel like there's a gap in the bag that you need filling, then it's time to upgrade. Just because Ping or Titleist or TaylorMade or Callaway release a new product and say it's the best, doesn't mean to say it's the best for you. Why we're here, we're the conduit of information to help you understand what you need, why you need it, and how it can improve your game. So use us to investigate that situation. Use us to find out if you can make a game with your driver. Can you hit it straighter? Can you hit it further? Regardless of brand, regardless of some newly worded or newly painted golf club, it's just about your performance. Does the size of golf grip you're using affect your ability to square the club at impact? The answer is yes. it's not as linear as what you might read on golf forums. Too small, you're going to hook it. Too big, you're going to fade it. I don't think it kind of works like that. Everyone's pressure is different and everyone reacts to small and big relative to their hand size differently. So I think you can hit erratic shots with either size grip depending on where you're at in that scale. So making sure that it fits in your hand. At a club fitting, a good club fitter will get this right for you. So the pressure is right and your grip pressure is right. You then need the texture that allows you to keep traction on the golf club at all times so it doesn't slip during your swing. If you suffer with sweat, you might want tacky or dry. If you don't, you might like the feel of rubber. You also want to pay attention to one that gets missed a lot, which is torque within the grip. If the grip is bulky and twisty, that will twist and move around during your swing at higher speeds. So you don't want that if you've got a fast club speed, a big one that catches people off guard quite a lot. The other thing is to make sure that the club builder is using the grip in your specification and making sure that they understand the relationship. If the grip's bigger and heavier, that it will offset the head weight, and vice versa. If it's smaller, it will make the head feel heavier. So you don't come to the end and then stick a grip on and it messes with the whole specification. You want the club to balance out exactly the way that you enjoy the feel of, even though it's a different size or it's the right size for you and it may not have been the one you were testing with. And then obviously the most important thing about grip is does it match the colour of the shaft at the end of the session? So I thought this was a really good question. Is are launch monitors really that different from each other? So Trackman to Foresight to GC Quad to Sure Shot. And yes, they're all different and they're all different to each other. It's basically about how they measure the data, the club data, the ball data. At Cool Clubs we use Trackman. In Sydney I use Trackman 4. It is the industry leader in ball flight gathering. So it's literally a radar. It tracks the ball flight through its entirety of the flight, which is obviously much more accurate than relying on algorithms or assumptions relative to altitude or temperature or weather conditions. It literally, as you make contact, it tracks the golf ball all the way through until the point it lands or it loses sight of the golf ball, and therefore that is the most accurate information. We give it its best chance of giving us the best information because we use it outdoors. We use it with premium golf balls, and therefore it hasn't got to add any equation into what it's seeing. It really is just telling us what happened, and that's giving the player not only the visual feedback but the best data possible. I think the real key to either investing in one of these launch monitors or investing in a session with somebody that has one is that they understand the product they're using, they understand the differences between the machines. That doesn't mean to say you have to be an expert in all of them, but it is almost understanding the fact that Trackman and GC Quad measure in different ways and at different points. I've seen many people do comparisons on these products and not have the basic understanding that they're measuring at different time within contact as such, and therefore they see different numbers and say, well, one machine's right and one machine's wrong. I don't believe that's correct. I think that they all gather good information. I think they're all in the industry for the better of the golfer. Everyone can get better by the information that they produce as long as it's given to them in the best manner possible. So invest in a session with your fitter, your coach, buy your own one. All of them are going to give you great information, help you play better golf if you understand it.